Four teams, two playoff spots, one of them in action here today in Raleigh, North Carolina. The St. Louis Gladiators, one of those teams fighting for their playoff lives, and the Carolina Skyhawks will not give it to them here on their home turf here in Raleigh. Welcome to the Simulation Football League. We are live on 11 Sports for the fans and 252 ESPN New Bern, Greenville. Alongside my best friend Kate Stevens, my name is Eric Vinson. A pleasure to have Stephen Hacker down there in the stats truck giving us the saucy statistics today. And speaking of which, we've got the team comparison up there, Cade. And man, oh man, St. Louis does not turn the football over.
No, sir, they sure do not. St. Louis coming off a nice victory last week against Queen City. Pickler sacked 6 times in that game. They're going to want to clean that up, but they were able to force 4 interceptions against Queen City last week. Defense would like to step up, force about 4 more today against Sully Richardson.
First ever victory against the Queen City Corsairs last week for this franchise, and they are wanting to get their first ever playoff berth, and a win here would go a long way towards that. We're still working on playoff scenarios. We'll get to that a little bit later in the broadcast. Certainly want to keep you up to date on that. And man, oh man, this is going to be a great matchup today. Carolina's defense likes to take away the football. They have 29 takeaways on defense here today, coming into this week. And as we saw there, St. Louis does not like to turn the football over. It's a battle of who is actually going to win that matchup there, kid.
Yeah, your victory here today, you're going to see who turns the football over less. Can St. Louis continue to have the success that they've had doing that, or Carolina's defense come out and give the offense trouble? Carolina looking to play spoiler in this one.
Carolina already eliminated from playoff contention, but they're excited here in Raleigh for the final game of Season 14 for the Skyhawks. Fielded at about the 10-yard line, Harish Prasad, a dangerous kick returner, as he brings the football up to the 31-yard line. Good starting field position for Carolina as they take over on offense. First, Sully Richardson, the quarterback here, and Katie didn't have all that great of a week last week.
No, he sure did not. Richardson turned the ball over about 4 times last week, which unfortunately led to their demise in a 45-24 drubbing against the Atlanta Swarm.
To be expected against the number 1 seed Atlanta Swarm. However, disappointing effort overall as we get a handoff to start things off to Logan Jack as he gets a gain of about a half a yard. And we're going to get a look at the Carolina impact players on offense. Sully Richardson in his second season in a Skyhawk uniform. Logan Jack coming from New Orleans, his first season here. Tony Zoma, the fullback. Flash Furman, Shea Carroll, Harish Prasad, the wide receivers. Jack Flash, the tight end. And we'll see Wally Herman, the kicker for the Skyhawks later on. Another handoff to Logan Jack as he plows ahead over the middle, and that's going to be a gain of about 3 or 4 as we get a look at the impact players on defense for the Gladiators. And this is an impeccable defense here. Todd Dubstat and Tony Roberto, Shane Masters, Franco Zanatti, all on defensive line. Colin Douglas in his 8th season at strong safety. Mark Gronek, Chuck Diesel, Evan Arthur, Drew Reilly, Freeman Peltier, and Nathan Blake round out the secondary for the Gladiators. Third down here, airing it out, and it's picked off going the other way. St. Louis has a convoy, and this is going to go to the house to start things off. What a way to get on the board for the Gladiators. Touchdown, St. Louis.
Well, we sure talked about it coming into this at the beginning, that Sully Richardson, 4 turnovers last week, and he's right back at it again. Great read on the play by Evan Arthur to pick the ball off, take it the other way for 6 points, start the game. St. Louis has got to feel real good about their start so far on defense.
And just ran the route a little bit better than the wide receiver there as he was easily able to pick that off and go 53 yards to the house to start things off for St. Louis. Don't even have to get their offense out on the field, Cade, and they're already putting points on the board.
Well, you got to take points where you can get points, and like I said, the winner of this game is going to be the team that forces the most turnovers, and St. Louis already working on that, scoring points with their defense. Anywhere you can get it, you're going to take it, and this is a phenomenal start, looking to take a 7-point lead here against the Carolina Skyhawks.
Got Judah Dorgan out there to boot the extra point, and it is up and through 7-0 early on here for St. Louis, as again, didn't even get the offense on the field, and they are already up by a touchdown. Evan Arthur's 6th interception on the season. As I mentioned, 53 yards, pick 6. And that results in the score that you see here. Dorga got the ball teed up, ready to go, and he boots it down the field to Carolina, and we will start it all over again. Prasad, again with a nice return, a little bit better than the last one as he plows ahead for a yard more out to the 32-yard line. And Carolina will get their second crack at the football. And this St. Louis defense, no slouch either. They have 27 takeaways to their credit. That's good for 9th in the SFL coming into this week. But either way, 27 takeaways for a team defense, that's an impressive number.
Pretty darn good. Both teams certainly like to take the ball away for sure.
1st and 10 from the 32. Richardson under center. Richardson, pump fakes, going to check it down there. He's got Logan Jack, and man, the defense was ready for him right there as he doesn't even get out of the backfield. Tackle made at about the 30-yard line, loss of 2.
Boy, it looked like initially there, Eric, he wanted to go downfield, and it just wasn't there. Clock goes off in his head, and he dumps it down to Logan Jack, who unfortunately had nowhere to go. Tackled for a 2-yard loss on the play.
2nd and 12. Skyhawks going right to left across your radio dial. Just under 10 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Jack with another handoff, and he will go ahead and get those yards made up there on that loss. It's going to be 3rd down and long here. Back to the 32 they go.
Tough running for Jack most of the year so far, only averaging 3 yards a carry, 865 yards on 284 carries coming into this game. Unfortunately, it's been tough sledding for him most of the year. Not sure the offensive line's just not opening up the holes that he needs.
Empty set for Richardson in the gun. Richardson, pressure's coming. Avoids the first tackler. He's going to go down on that second, though. Big sack back at the 23-yard line, and this St. Louis defense came to play today as they send Chad Nevels, an extra strong safety, in there on the blitz, and he gets the sack.
Nevels gets home after the initial miss there and makes the sack. And boy, this really not a good showing so far for Carolina's offense, who throws a pick six to start the game, comes back out, and unfortunately goes 3 and out. Are punting the ball back to St. Louis again.
Nevels, the week 6 signing for that St. Louis defense, as he gets the sack there. Chase Earl, the returner, and he's a dangerous returner as well, as he will bring the football up to the St. Louis 45-yard line. So good starting field position for the Gladiators here as they take over on offense. Johnny Pickler, the number 1 overall pick for the Gladiators, he will take over on offense here.
Pickler with a pretty solid rookie campaign so far, Eric. A 71% completion percentage. Pretty solid. 18 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and just over a 97 QBR. That's all you could ever hope for your first overall pick in the SFL draft.
Diesel Dawson with an impressive carry on 1st down, and he gets about 9.5 out to the 46-yard line. We'll get a look at the impact players on offense for these Gladiators. Johnny Pickler, we mentioned him. Diesel Dawson, you saw him on that carry there. Sean Harrelson, Nick Finch, and Chase Earl, the wide receivers for the Gladiators, along with Cody Scott at tight end. Lots of weapons for Pickler to work with, and he will set up shop here on 2nd and inches. Dawson with another carry. This one not too much, but he gets just enough to move those chains. For the Gladiators, get a look at the Carolina impact players on defense. Zane Doty, the leading intercepting leader in the SFL. He is in his 5th season. Riley Combs, Bill Hall, Christopher Colon, all on the defensive line. For Stark, Shervon Prasad, the linebackers. Davidson Joseph, Rochelle Colston, and Tristan Hatley round out the defensive backfield for the Skyhawks as they get a good stop there on Dawson. He only gets about a half yard on 1st down, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 9.
Yeah, good tackle by Stark there to kind of slow him down for not much of a gain on 1st down.
And he is this team's leading tackler. Comes into this ball game with 99 tackles, so that tackle number 100 for him. Congratulations to him on this season. In the gun is Pickler. He's going to quickly throw it to the far sideline, and that is caught. Some toe drag swag there from Sean Harrelson, I believe it is, and he will bring it out to the 38.
Yeah, good catch. Actually, wide receiver Nick Finch on the sideline with the toe drag swag. You said interesting set on 2nd and 9. They went with an empty backfield shotgun with 4 or 5 wide receivers. But a nice little out route and good catch to give him 3rd and 4, Eric.
Just under 6.5 minutes to go in the opening frame. Pickler. Nice one-handed grab there by Finch as he is close to the line to gain, but his forward progress gets stopped well before the line to gain. It's going to be 4th down and 3 and I believe we are going to see a punt here.
Great. Actually, Finch, really nice route, ran it right to where he needed to be at the first down marker. Coming across, had to come back for the football just slightly. You saw the one-handed catch. Unfortunately, the progress coming backwards most likely cost him the first down right there.
Bo Zabrowski, the punter here for St. Louis. Clean snap. Pressure doesn't get to him. He's going to try and pin the Skyhawks back here. Bounces at about the 5-yard line, and the special teams cannot get to it for St. Louis before it falls into the end zone, and that will be a touchback. Carolina gets the football at the 20-yard line, and Cage, you mentioned it, just not a great start for this Skyhawks offense to start things off.
No, Eric, and it almost was just a lot worse there as that ball was almost down inside the 1-yard line. I can't imagine this offense, with the way that they come out and played so far, would have had very much success coming out there. That could have had another turnover written all over it for the St. Louis Gladiators defense.
Split backs in the gun for Richardson. He throws it over the middle, caught, and that's a gain of about 5, as that was Shea Carroll with the reception there. His first season coming over from the Charleston Predators.
Yeah, nice little in route there by Shea Carroll. Just, give Sully Richardson some easy throws. Carolina's working on doing that, it looks like, to try to build some momentum moving forward. 2nd and 5 they'll get after that nice catch on that play.
Gotta agree. Give your quarterback some nice easy routes, crossing patterns, slant routes, the works, and get him comfortable back there for your team. Richardson under center. He's going to hand it off to Logan Jack. Tries to lower his shoulder, but gets plowed backwards, by the Gladiators defense. He gets about 3 on the play. 3rd and short coming up. So 3rd and 2 from the 28. Another handoff. That's Jack, and he gets buried in the backfield. St. Louis was ready for that from the start. And again, Carolina not able to move the chains at all, and they're going to have to punt once again.
Yeah, outside linebacker 42, Mark Gronick on the play, gets back there and makes a stop. And for a team who's not been incredibly successful running the football in this game so far, or much less the rest of the season, a little surprised that was the call on 3rd and 3. At the same time, they've not had a ton of luck through the air either. I guess you have to pick your poison at this moment.
Pressure coming, punt gets away for Carolina. Chase Earl with another crack at the return here, and he will scoot ahead to the 43-yard line. So again, good starting field position for the Gladiators. They got down to about the 37-yard line of Carolina before they had to punt the football away. They will get another crack here.
Carolina defense, I'm sure, would like to step up right here and force the 3 and out. Try to get the ball back to your offense. Continue to build the momentum. Get back in this football game. St. Louis coming out, once again, shotgun, no backs in the backfield.
Trips towards the top of the screen for the Gladiators. Throws it over the middle. Caught! That is Cody Scott with a clutch reception there over the middle of the field as he scoots ahead out to the Carolina 40-yard line.
Yeah, great catch by Cody Scott. A dangerous one indeed. That actually scared me just a little bit as he threw the ball. I thought the worst as it was just behind the receiver. But, great catch by him and way to rumble and bumble his way up the field for a nice gain.
Trevon Prasad in the area there almost had the pick, but just outside of his reach as Cody Scott gets the reception and the first down for the Gladiators as they set up 1st and 10 here. Pickler under center. Dawson the lone back. He gets the carry, and he will scoot ahead to the 37-yard line for a gain of 3. Tackle made by Prasad on that play.
Yeah, Prasad back at it again. What's that, 101 now? He's in triple digits, you said there, Eric. Good tackle by him. So definitely somebody they've been able to lean on this year in Carolina.
Yeah, both Prasad and Stark, very impressive linebackers, as they both have triple-digit tackles on the season. Handoff again to Dawson, and almost a broken play as he was almost tackled in the backfield. But he gets ahead to the 33-yard line. Gain of maybe a couple, brings up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, that effort on that play, although it'd be a couple, that was all Diesel Dawson getting upfield and carrying a couple defenders with him to give St. Louis a very manageable 3rd and 4 at the Carolina 33-yard line.
Crowd on their feet here in Raleigh. You can hear them chanting defense as we have 3 wide receivers towards the bottom of the screen for the Gladiators. Instead of the handoff, Diesel Dawson lowering his shoulder and burying Trevon Prasad into the dirt on his way to another first down for St. Louis.
Boy, and Diesel Dawson shows what he can do when he gets those legs churning. The momentum that he had right into Prasad, he was not going to be denied that first down. And they are, as you said, Eric, going to move those chains.
Two backs in the backfield for Pickler. It's going to be a handoff again to Dawson, trying to find some room and cannot get out of the backfield. He gets knocked down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain. They'll mark it as a gain of a half a yard, though, 2nd and 9.
Half a yard solid on the play. Yeah, 2nd and 9. They're starting to key in a little bit. Carolina is on that run. I think they anticipate that's coming. St. Louis, this could be something that they're setting up. Watch for future play action here. This particular play, 5 wide receivers, or I'm sorry, 3. We got a tight end up top.
Pickler in the gun. Quick fires it over the middle of the field, and I don't think Cody Scott was ready for it. He turns around on his route, and it hits him right in the face mask. Ball's incomplete. 3rd down and long coming up.
Yeah, I believe potentially just a bad timed route between Chase Earl and Cody Scott as they kind of crossed each other just as Pickler got rid of the football. Cody Scott, potentially not the primary receiver, not ready for the football, hits him right in the chest and falls to the turf.
Same formation. 2 wideouts and a tight end towards the top of the screen. 1 lone wide receiver towards the bottom. Pickler to throw. He's going to air it out towards the far sideline. Caught for a 1st down and more. He's ushered out of bounds. That is Chase Earl, and he gets into the SFL red zone and inside the 10 to the 9, 1st and goal.
Yeah, great catch and a nice boot, scoot, and boogie up the sideline by Chase Earl on that play to give him 1st and goal. As you can see there, just an out route towards the pylon right at the 1st down marker. Snatches it out of the air, and wow, a nice play there by St. Louis.
Zane Doty on the coverage there and was just trailing him the entire way. Could not make the tackle just at the 1st down marker. And Chase Earl gets about 5 or 6 yards extra. Down at the 9, 1st and goal for the Gladiators. Looking to add to their lead, already up 7-0. Pickler in the gun, 1 back to his left side. He's going to gun it down towards the near sideline, caught, and that is Sean Harrelson. He gets the catch and gets knocked out of bounds at about the 2.
Nice catch getting involved for Harrelson. Good play call there by St. Louis to kind of set up a very manageable 2nd goal. They're going to have an opportunity if they want to try to run the football with Diesel Dawson to do it more than once if they're not successful here on 2nd down.
I'd certainly like to play action here, too. You wanted it earlier, my man. 2nd and goal from the 2, swinging it out to Dawson. Does he have the speed? He does. To the end zone. Touchdown, St. Louis.
Way to spread him out there. St. Louis, good play call. Johnny Pickler with the read. No play action on the play, but Diesel Dawson heads straight for the sideline, and the linebacker's just not fast enough to catch up with him. Easy catch and an easy touchdown at the pylon.
Number 6 is back for the point after.
Judah Dorgan with his 2nd extra point attempt. A 9-play, 66-yard drive, capped off with that 2-yard passing touchdown from Pickler to Dawson. A little bit of an awkward snap, gets the hold down, up and through. St. Louis up 14-0 here early on as we are almost through the 1st quarter of action. Plenty more to come here in the Simulation Football League. You're watching on 11 Sports and for the fans, listening on 252 ESPN in New Bern, Greenville. Back here in Raleigh, 14-0, as the Gladiators are doing their best to secure themselves a playoff spot. Going to need a little bit more help, but this win will certainly help things. As Dorgan boots the ball down the field. Good return there by Harish Prasad. So many spin moves. How many more spin moves can you throw at him? But he eventually gets out to the 33-yard line. An impressive return there for Prasad.
A little bit dizzy after watching that one. I think I counted 4 different spins on that play, and he got away from all but just about the last one. That was great moves by Prasad there on that return.
Get a look at Logan Jack coming up at his running back spot. Offset I formation for the Skyhawks. Richardson's going to throw. He's going to sling it out to Logan Jack, who sneaks out of the backfield. He's got plenty of room as he stiff arms a defender along the sideline and is ushered out of bounds at the 40.
Yeah, good throw there. Good read by Richardson. These are the easy passes we spoke about earlier that needs to start happening to get him in a little bit more of a groove here. Clearly, Carolina would like to not turn the football over anymore. Down by 2 touchdowns, they need to try to get back in this game. A sustained drive here would go a long way towards building some momentum.
Gonna go back to that offset I. Richardson under center, short drop. He's going to sling it out again out of the backfield, and that's good for first down yardage as Carolina makes it out to the 44-yard line where they will move those chains.
Yeah, I like the spreading it out. I like the spreading it out there. I know they're getting it to Logan Jack out of the backfield, but they are making the linebackers run, and this could potentially be helpful to them. If they can gas these guys, the run game may open up a little bit more for them.
First quarter is in the books. St. Louis with a 14-point advantage over the hometown Skyhawks, but we got plenty of action to come here in the Simulation Football League, live on 11 Sports. And for the fans, you're also listening on 252 ESPN, Newburgh, Greenville. Back here in Raleigh, North Carolina, as the Skyhawks get a first down just before the quarter ends. They are now traveling left to right across your screen and radio dial. Hand off to Logan Jack. Has plenty of room over the middle of the field. Slips through the first tackler, gets buried right at the line to gain, but he will get a first down out to the 46-yard line of St. Louis.
Yeah, Logan Jack's best run of this short game so far, but still very nicely set up by the offensive line and a good break tackle by him too. That's something that's been missing from him so far this season, has been his offensive line giving him the holes that he needs to get upfield.
And good block there by the fullback, Tony Zoma, as he cleared out Shane Masters on that play as well. Once again, ends up with a first down for Carolina from the 46-yard line of St. Louis. Richardson going to sling it out to Jack. Good stiff arm there by Logan Jack as he buries a defender into the dirt, and he carries him for a long gain. 15 yards total as he gets a first down.
Yeah, a nice little rumble downfield, breaking tackles, and finally taken down by Mark Gronick downfield, the outside linebacker, with a little bit of help from his friends. But a nice rumble stumble by Jack once again, getting involved in the pass game and the run game here. This is, as we've said over and over, exactly what Carolina needed to do for Sully Richardson to get him comfortable, and here they are driving down in St. Louis territory.
Richardson pump fakes, going to check it down over the middle. Good little pitch and catch there, as that's good for a gain of 7 out to the 18-yard line. Into the SFL red zone we go, as that catch was made by Jack Flash, the tight end.
Good catch by Jack Flash on that one. Once again, a nice one over the middle. The rookie hauls it in there. Big 6'6", 250-pound tight end. Not a guy you want to hit.
Certainly not. I don't want to hit him. 2nd and 3 from the 18. 3 wideouts for Richardson to work with. He's going to throw towards the far sideline. That's caught as he's eventually tackled out of bounds, but not before he gets a first down out to the 13-yard line. And that was good tackle made by Evan Arthur.
Good catch again on that play. I mean, first down, they're driving real deep into St. Louis territory now, deep in the red zone, the 13-yard line. They can still get another first down before they punch this in. I'm sure any points whatsoever would be appreciated by the Carolina Skyhawks here, but a touchdown is ideal.
Richardson's in trouble again. Masters has his number, and he's going to go down. Shane Masters would not be denied as he was just pushing through his block, and a huge sack of 8 yards on the play.
At some point, Eric, the clock has got to go off in your head. If nobody is there, get rid of it. He worked his way outside the pocket, had an opportunity to just go ahead and throw the ball away. I'm not sure if he thought potentially something else would come open there, but a great play by Masters and great perseverance on the play to get to the quarterback and bring him down for a huge loss.
Carolina fans screaming for Richardson to throw the ball in that situation. Not to be, as Logan Jack gets a carry on this second down play and only a gain of a yard. And it's going to be 3rd and forever here for the Skyhawks.
Can't imagine there's too many Carolina Skyhawks fans out there that were too thrilled about running the ball on 2nd and long right there either. I understand it from a play call perspective to try to get some yardage back, but it sets up a very difficult 3rd and long here.
Richardson, empty set, has time. He's going to bomb it over the middle of the field, into the end zone, picked off for the second time. And for the second time today, that's Evan Arthur with his pick, and that's going to be a touchback out to the 20-yard line for St. Louis.
Great interception by Evan Arthur, who actually looked like he was the primary receiver on the play, splitting the 2 wide receivers and coming down with a crucial interception for St. Louis as Carolina finally started making headway.
We're going to take a break. We got more Simulation Football League action on the other side. You're watching live on 11 Sports and For the Fans, listening on 252 ESPN, New Bern, Greenville. Back here in Raleigh, St. Louis takes over after the interception in the end zone. Richardson's second on the day. Evan Arthur's second as well. As broken play, and Pickler is going to go down in the backfield. Carolina with some impressive pressure up the middle, and that's going to be a sack of just a yard, but an impressive play nonetheless by the Skyhawks.
Yeah, I believe that was defensive tackle Christopher Colon with the massive interruption of what appeared to be a handoff on that play to Diesel Dawson that just never formulated.
They're showing blitz once again here. We'll see if they send it. A little bit of a twist stunt. Pickler going to throw it over the middle. Had Cody Scott, and it falls incomplete. Couldn't quite make the grab there as the football was jarred loose on the hit.
Oh, had his guy, and just took a big hit there that knocked the ball out. But a good throw, good route by Cody Scott. You just got to find a way to come up with that one and help your quarterback out.
Brings up 3rd and long here from the St. Louis 19. 4 wideouts for Pickler to work with. He's in the gun. Dawson the lone back. Pickler to throw. Pressure's coming. He's going to go down. Prasad came in from the middle, and he got the sack there, and that's going to force a 3 and out for the Skyhawks defense.
And all of a sudden, that defensive line for Carolina has decided that they wanted a little piece of that. And a great play there by Prasad to get in there for the sack and force a punt to get the football back.
Came out with a little man look there, and now St. Louis backed up against their own end zone. No pressure coming for Zaborowski's punt. He doesn't get away with a good one, though. Fielded at the 40-yard line, and Harish Prasad has plenty of return room, and he makes it out to the 22-yard line. That's going to be excellent field position here for the Skyhawks.
Wow, what a return there by Prasad, who's not only an excellent returner, but is also the team's leading wide receiver, making plays just about everywhere he can. I thought for a moment, Eric, he was going to take this one back to the house for the first points of the game for Carolina.
As we get a look at those return specialists here, got two good ones. Chase Earl in his rookie season with 3 kick return touchdowns, and Harish Prasad in his 4th season with 3 kick return touchdowns. Prasad has been one of the premier kick returners in the SFL since he came into the league, and you certainly saw why on that last punt return there. As a handoff to Logan Jack, good stiff arm in the backfield, gives him some room, and he will plow ahead on the outside out to the 18-yard line, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, Logan Jack put Freeman Peltier in the dirt right there as the free safety tried to come up and make a tackle, and Jack was having absolutely none of it.
3 wideouts for Richardson to work with here. 2 towards the bottom here. Richardson, 7-step drop. Pressure's coming. He's going to air it out towards the near sideline. Caught close to the end zone. Going to get stopped right at the 1, and that's going to be 1st and goal for the Skyhawks.
Heck of a catch by Shea Carroll down on the side there near the goal line, and he tried to just push his way a little bit closer and into the end zone, and was slightly unsuccessful. But wow, what a setup and what a throw on that play by quarterback Sully Richardson to get the ball out there. Great drive so far for Carolina. Good return and a good setup.
Gutsy throw there for Sully Richardson as he knew he was going to get crunched in the backfield. The pressure was coming, pocket collapsing, and he still made the throw, and a heck of a one it was. 1st and goal from the 1. Jack, end zone, touchdown, Carolina.
That's about as straightforward as you can get there, right up the middle with Logan Jack for what's going to be his 7th rushing touchdown of this SFL season that is now coming to a close. Carolina is not out of this one yet, folks. They've got something to say to St. Louis.
Carolina wanting to play spoiler here today. We talked about it coming into the ball game, and Logan Jack certainly pushing his team in the right direction as Wally Herman lines up for the extra point. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up and through. 14-7 now your score as Carolina pulls themselves right back in the ball game. We're going to take a break, but we'll be right back. You're watching Simulation Football League action live on 11 Sports for the fans and listening to 252 ESPN Newburgh, Greenville. Back live, a short but effective drive for the Carolina Skyhawks. 3 plays, 22 yards, capped off with the 1-yard rushing touchdown by Logan Jack as he gets the first points for Carolina on the board here at home in the final home game for Carolina of Season 14 in the Simulation Football League. Chase Earl will get his first crack at a return here. We noticed how dangerous he can be on the graphic earlier, but he will be stopped at the 23-yard line, and that's where the Gladiators will take over to start.
Yeah, put the blanket down on him there. Didn't want to give him an opportunity. All of a sudden, Eric, I sense a little bit of a momentum shift in this football game. Carolina's defense came to life, giving their offense an opportunity to get down the field with a little bit of help from special teams. All of a sudden, this is a football game here.
You're starting to feel that a little bit, feeling the momentum shift towards the Skyhawks. We will see how long that lasts with Pickler sidearming it over to Dawson coming out of the backfield. Escapes the first tackler, but gets stood up right at the 27-yard line where he would be dropped down for a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, Dawson not really wanting to be denied. Strong safety Tristan Hatley came in there for the seal tackle for a gain of 4.
6 minutes to go here in the first half. 14-7 your score. St. Louis on top for the moment. I formation for the Gladiators. Pickler going to throw it over the middle. Wide open for a first down. Was a crossing route there by Sean Harrelson, and he will move those chains for the Gladiators.
Yeah, great catch by Harrelson on that play to get the first down. He took a big hit once again from Hatley on the play and held onto the football. And yeah, St. Louis moving the ball. I have to imagine they want a little bit of that momentum back in their corner.
And for those of you viewing for the first time, what are you watching? This is the Simulation Football League, the first control-less esport, allowing you, the viewer, to participate in all the action on the field without a controller in your hands. Visit simulation.football for more details on how to join our Discord server, as that is a swing pass to the running back coming out of the backfield there, the backup running back. And get a look at the total turnovers for this St. Louis offense. Going back 4 seasons ago, and even going to last season, what a turnaround it is for this Gladiators team.
Gladiators team going from worst to first and taking care of the ball. And that's an important stat to keep, and this is one of the reasons why they are still alive in the playoff hunt tonight, is they have done a much better job at taking care of the football this year.
Pickler going to air it out near sideline, and that falls incomplete. That was good coverage out there by Zane Doty, the intercepting leader in the Simulation Football League.
Yeah, Nick Finch, I think, a little nervous here in the steps coming from Doty, and potentially slightly overthrown by Pickler. But anyways, not a bad play, trying to take 1/3 and a little than I think they would like here.
Yeah, 3rd and 8. It's going to be a little dicey here. Pickler's in the gun by himself. He's going to throw. He's going to air it out deep over the middle. Could have been picked off. Looking for Cody Scott, but there were plenty of blue jerseys around him there, and that falls incomplete. 4th down.
Yeah, great play. Once again, strong safety Tristan Hatley, a number we've called a couple times on this drive, comes up with a crucial knockdown on 3rd to give them 4th and 8 for St. Louis. Nearly an interception going the other way.
And again, Cade, you touched on it, starting to see that momentum swing towards Carolina. And with the ball falling into Harish Prasad's hands here on this punt return, we'll have to see how dangerous he can be. No pressure coming. He will call for a fair catch, and that is made at the 36-yard line of the Skyhawks. So good starting field position here for Carolina as they take over once again. And that was a good drive there set up by that good return.
Absolutely. Carolina's, their offense started, the legs started churning a little bit here. We saw a couple good runs from Logan Jack and a great throw or two from Sully Richardson. They've got an opportunity with good field position to keep that momentum moving.
Richardson under center. He'll take the snap. Pressure's coming. He's going to check it down to Logan Jack, lowering his shoulder as he plows ahead to the 42-yard line. Gain tackled right there, and that'll be a gain of 6.
Very nicely set up on that play, actually. Only a gain of 6, but Sully Richardson's ability to get outside the pocket and find Jack for a check down on what could have easily been a sack on that play as the St. Louis Gladiators defensive line was bearing down on him. It turned into what could have been a negative into a very nice positive.
Split backs in the gun is Sully Richardson. 2 wideouts to work with, one on either side of the screen. Richardson takes the low snap. He's going to air it out deep. He's got his man past the defense, and he's tackled at the 29-yard line eventually. What a bomb from Richardson to Harish Prasad.
Harish Prasad working the seam, and the defense gets back behind the corner and behind the safety as the safety looked like he was slightly out of position, biting down on another route right there. That was Colin Douglas, the safety, who was just slightly out of the way, and a great catch by Prasad. Great throw by Sully Richardson moves the ball deep into St. Louis territory.
From the 29, I formation for Richardson. He's going to hand it off to Logan Jack, trying to bounce it off tackle there. Squirts through the first tackler there, but cannot escape the 2nd and 3rd. He will be dropped at the 27 for a gain of 2.
Can't escape Evan Arthur on that play as he breaks, gets off the tackle, and actually slows him down quite a bit. And resulting in, as you said, just a 2-yard gain on that play for Logan Jack.
Brings up 2nd and 8. 3 wideouts for Richardson to work with. A little bit of a defensive shift for the Gladiators. Another handoff for Logan Jack. He's met right at the line of scrimmage. His momentum carries him forward to the 23-yard line after Shane Masters came and tackled him from behind.
Yeah, stood up there, and Masters just showing a little frustration as he comes up and hits him. Unfortunately, the momentum pushed him further for a little bit of a better gain on that play.
Jack, 10 carries, 30 yards, and a touchdown already. As we move closer to the 2-minute warning, Richardson hit as he's thrown, could have been picked and going the other way. Instead, it was dropped. And that was a dangerous throw there, Cade, my friend.
Yes, a dangerous throw indeed. As the defender, if he just gets his head around, I don't think he's ready for the football either. I think that very well could have been an interception with only solely Richardson there to potentially stop him.
And with the way he got crunched in the backfield, I don't think even he could have caught him.
I'm with you there.
Wally Herman going to attempt his first field goal of the day. This one going to be from about 39 yards. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up. It is on the way, and it is through from 39 yards as Herman adds 3 more points to the board for Carolina and narrows the gap to 4.
Good kick by Herman. That thing had plenty of distance on it. They could have put that back at the 50. It might have gone through.
Pays to have a star kicker on your team, my friend. I'm just saying. Kickers are people too.
Yes, it does.
Speaking of which, to keep up with how your player and team are doing this season, visit simulationfl.net for standings, leaderboards, and sortable team stats. The rookie big board is there too, tracking the next big superstars in the Simulation Football League as Herman boots it down the field. Chase Earl fields it in his own end zone. He will bring it up, try and follow blockers, and eventually gets tackled at the 20-yard line, so the equivalent of a touchback there. And St. Louis will get another crack at the football, and they just have not been as successful on offense as we saw them a little bit earlier, Kate.
Yeah, after the pick six and the initial touchdown drive, they've kind of slowed quite a bit on offense. I'm not sure what the game plan is coming in here, but I'm sure they'd like to try to get something going. Carolina's come within 4 points now. This is a football game.
Pickler to throw. He's going to throw it over there. Picked off. Carolina's going the other way, and he's going to be tackled inside the 18-yard line. What a pick by Davidson Joseph, and he sets up Carolina to take the lead.
The second-round pick, 22 overall, Davidson Joseph, as you can see on this play, gets a nice push initially, and it looks like Sean Harrelson runs into his own player on the play, slows his momentum, and that just gives Davidson Joseph the perfect opportunity to jump in front of the football. A nice return, and they are already inside the red zone after the interception and return from Davidson Joseph.
And we were wondering which side of the football was going to break here, as Pickler does not throw many interceptions. That's his 11th on the season, and that was a big-time one to throw right there, as Carolina is in business. Logan Jack with an impressive handoff there as he runs ahead to the 11-yard line for a gain of 7.
Yeah, phenomenal job by the big guys up front on that one. He did not have first contact with the defender until about 6 yards up the field. But a very nice run there by Logan Jack, but a good job by the big fellas up front.
And that's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. What an exciting game we've got here from Raleigh. And we got more to come on the other side of the break. Stay with us. You're watching the Simulation Football League live on 11 Sports and for the fans. Listening to 252 ESPN New Bern, Greenville. Back live on the other side of the 2-minute warning. Sully Richardson and company trying to add more points to the board, possibly take the lead here on this 2nd and 3. Turnaround handoff, Logan Jack buries a defender in the dirt, gets first down yardage and more as he eventually gets tackled right at the 3-yard line, sets up a 1st and goal.
Oh my, he was almost there. He was so close. And in comes defensive end Todd Dubstat, who breaks off his block on the edge to come back and make the stop just short of the goal line and gives St. Louis a little bit of light to try and prevent Carolina from taking the lead here with a touchdown. Folks, you heard that right. After being down 14 points, Carolina with an opportunity to take the lead in this football game.
Already 10 unanswered. Can they make it 17? Offset eye for Richardson. Another handoff to Logan Jack, trying to run it off tackle, but St. Louis read it the whole way, as he gets buried in the backfield. A good tackle made by one of the defenders, Mark Gronek, the outside linebacker.
Mark Gronek coming in, I believe, untouched through the lane and just absolutely annihilates Logan Jack in the backfield for a loss.
Second and goal for Richardson. Got to throw it and into coverage. Incomplete. And I'm not sure who he was looking for there, but guess who? That's Gronek again.
Once again, making plays, and he had an opportunity. If he could hold on to the ball just a little bit longer, he had number 18, actually, Flash Furman, cutting out to the left side, going towards the pylon, would have come wide open on that play. Instead, has to get rid of the ball just a little bit sooner, and it's knocked to the turf by Mark Gronek.
Sets up a third down now for Carolina. 68 seconds to go here in the first half of play. 3 wideouts for Richardson. He's under center. Jack is the lone back. Jack will get the carry. Hurdles a defender in the backfield, trying to lower his shoulder, but good defense there by St. Louis, knocking him down at the original line of scrimmage at the 3.
An excellent red zone stand right there by St. Louis to keep him out of the end zone after they were first and goal from the 2-yard line. Phenomenal job by that defensive line and the linebackers, and Mark Gronek in particular, who had 2 big plays in a row.
Freeman Peltier with the impressive open field tackle stalls the drive, sets up another field goal attempt for Wally Herman. This one at Chippy here. It'll be from about 20 yards. Carolina letting the game clock bleed down a bit. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is good. 13 unanswered now for Carolina as they draw to within 1 with 24 seconds to go in the half.
A 1-point game all of a sudden after it really did not look good for them to start the game with a pick 6, and then to allow St. Louis's offense to go right back down there as soon as they got the ball back again. And all of a sudden things have turned for Carolina. I'm sure that they would have liked to have taken the lead right there, but boy, this is far from over as we wind down towards the end of the first half.
Herman boots it down the field. Chase Earl ready for it at his own goal line. He's going to bring it up the middle of the field, spin move, and he's going to get tackled at the 25-yard line where the Gladiators will take over with 19 seconds to go and 3 timeouts.
19 seconds and 3 timeouts. I'm not sure they take a shot here. They may just wind this one out and try to regroup. I could be completely incorrect. That is just what I think is the likely possibility here.
Yeah, I would certainly agree with that. I don't think that they're going to do anything gutsy with 19 seconds deep in their own territory. As we see a Diesel Dawson handoff, breaking tackles along the way, and he eventually gets stopped at the 31-yard line. 8 carries, 29 yards for Dawson on the day.
Yeah, nice little 6-yard gain off the left side there.
And that is going to be the final play of the first half. A good ball game here in North Carolina as it is 14-13 in favor of the visiting St. Louis Gladiators. We will get a look at the first half stats and highlights. And Cade, what sort of numbers jump out at you here?
Well, I think what's been extremely exciting so far is that it's been really defensive. It started off as a big defensive game for St. Louis, who, as I said before, came away with the pick 6 to start the game, really put Carolina in a hole. And all of a sudden, the Carolina defense shows up. Defensive line came up big. A couple plays in a row. Special teams, as you don't see on those numbers right there, they had a big return for Prasad to set them up very nicely for their first touchdown of the game, their only touchdown of the game so far. But both defenses are rearing their teeth a little bit, and it's kept Carolina and brought Carolina back into the game. But we must not forget about St. Louis's defense, who's also played really well, especially to start the game.
Yeah, saying both these teams playing like they have playoffs on the line here. Carolina, unfortunately for them, eliminated coming into this week here. So nothing to play for, really, other than spoiler. And they're certainly balling out today and hoping to spoil the playoff hopes of the St. Louis Gladiators, who are hoping to make the playoffs for the first time in franchise history.
Yeah, certainly making an effort. Let's not forget about, too, we saw the highlight there, cornerback Evan Arthur. Two takeaways in the first half right there. Both opportunities where Carolina had a chance to go down there and potentially score again. So big plays by him have kept St. Louis in the lead at this moment.
Certainly the first half MVP in my book. I don't know about you.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. He's put him in great position. and one of them being a touchdown there. So come on, let's go.
Hey, anytime you got a pick six on your resume there, certainly can't shake a stick at that there, as he has 2 tackles to his credit as well. Wally Herman adding 2 field goals for Carolina. So he's certainly done some work today as well. And Richardson finally getting in the groove there towards the end of the half.
Yeah, Richardson getting in the groove a little bit, and Pickler getting a little shaky there, I guess you could say. In the second quarter, I guess St. Louis, I have to imagine, would like to come out regroup to start the second half and get down the field and reestablish a little bit of dominance as their playoff lives potentially depend on this football game.
And they do get the football to start things off here in the second half. By the way, if you are new to the Simulation Football League, get your spot in the SFL Minor League, SFLM, today to #claim your spot and begin your SFL career. Subscriptions are going fast, and the inaugural kickoff begins later this month. First Pro subscribers get first priority on choosing their position, so don't delay your career another second. We can't wait for you to #make an impact. Chase Earl with the opening kickoff here in the second half, and Carolina Special Teams has done a great job of limiting his success on his returns today out to the 25-yard line. St. Louis takes over.
I got to imagine that was probably a point of focus for Carolina early in the week as they practiced to get ready for this football game, was to limit the return ability for St. Louis, as they know that Chase Earl is a very dangerous returner, as we showed earlier in the football game. So far, they've done an awesome job at that.
Johnny Pickler will draw the defense offsides free play as Diesel Dawson plows ahead to about, I want to say the 32-yard line, but we'll see if they accept the penalty or not. Probably not, I'd imagine.
Neutral zone infraction, number 74, defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat, first.
They will accept it just to kind of reset everything, go with a 1st and 5.
Yeah, 1st and 5, 2nd and 3. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I totally understand right there. First laundry we've seen on the field all game.
Yeah, been a very quiet game as far as the laundry is concerned. As we get a look at Pickler's numbers there, 9 of 14, 67 yards, a touchdown and an interception today. Certainly a rarity for him, as he's only thrown 11 on the season. 1st and 5 now for the Gladiators. In the gun, Pickler's in trouble. He's going to throw it to the far sideline, wide open, caught by Nick Finch as he steps out of bounds, past the line of gain at the 41-yard line of St. Louis.
Yeah, great catch there by Nick Finch, once again running the deep route and getting open. He's been a favorite target, I would say, of Johnny Pickler so far. I believe that was catch number 3 on the day, or 4, if I'm not mistaken.
As we get a look at Finch out there, it's towards the top of your screen. Dawson, the lone back, offset in the backfield. He will get the handoff and lowers his shoulder, buries a defender. But Prasad, the sure-handed tackler for Carolina, knocks him down at the 43, gain of 2.
Yeah, Prasad with a real good tackle. Lucky he didn't take the brunt of that. I missed the fella who did, but somebody might want to go check on him.
He got up pretty quickly, so as long as he's not saying his name is Batman, then I think he's doing okay.
I think he'll be all right.
I formation this time for St. Louis. Pickler barking out orders at the line. Dawson gets the handoff, running off tackle. He only has 1 blocker and 2 tacklers out there. Could not beat the one-on-one tackle, and he will go down after a gain of 2.
No, he sure couldn't. Boy, when he first took the handoff initially, it looked like he was going to go a long way into it, and it just didn't work out for him. Like you said, could not hold on to the initial block there.
3 wideouts. Dawson, the lone back, sidecar right for Pickler. He'll take the snap. Pickler steps up in the pocket. He's thrown. Going to throw it towards the near sideline. And it's going to be a 4th down coming up here from the 46 as Carolina does their job on defense. And that's going to force a Zabrowski punt.
Yeah, Carolina defense picking up right where they left off in the first half, coming up big on a couple drives here.
Good clean snap, no pressure coming for him, gets the kick away. Prasad going to field it and take it up the field to the Carolina 28-yard line, and that is where the Skyhawks will get their first crack of the football here in the second half.
I'd like to see what they've got set up here for the second half. They had a lot of really nice. I mean, they were doing exactly what they need to do for Sully Richardson in the first half. They were spreading it out, taking some of the easy throws, and then letting him hit a couple of deep ones downfield. And it was really working out for him.
Offset eye for the Skyhawks to start things off. Richardson going to swing it out to Logan Jack. Beats the first defender. Actually, no, he doesn't beat the first defender. Evan Arthur holds on for dear life, grabs him by the ankles, but not before a 7-yard gain on the play.
Almost shook him off, but a heck of an effort there by cornerback Evan Arthur to hold on and grab him by the legs to take him down. Still a nice gain out of the backfield there for Logan Jack.
And good momentum there from Jack. That's why I initially thought he was going to beat him. Setting up second down from 3. Second down and 3, excuse me, from the 34. Offset eye once again, 2 wideouts towards the top of the screen. Skyhawks traveling from right to left. Handoff, Logan Jack following blockers, lowering his shoulders, getting first down yardage and more out to the 41-yard line of Carolina.
Absolutely phenomenal run, lowering the shoulder and taking down Colin Douglas, the strong safety attempting to come in for a tackle who could not hold on. Eventually, they were able to bring him down, but not after he gets a very nice run and a first down for Carolina, who is working on driving their way downfield here.
I formation, handoff to Jack. Gets absolutely demolished. What a hit there by the defender. That's Mark Gronick coming in from his linebacker spot to lay the lumber.
Mark Gronick, the second-round pick this last year in the SFL draft, making his presence known in this game on the second level of that St. Louis defense.
Logan Jack somehow resurrected on that play. He's in the backfield once again, alongside Tony Zoma. Richardson under center. Handoff, that's Jack, and he's going to get hit and stopped at the 43-yard line. Could not find any room to breathe there as that Gladiators defense is suffocating him.
Yeah, defensive line. That St. Louis defensive line, along with the linebackers, doing a good job about plugging up the middle. I like the call from Carolina to try to go for the short drop and give Logan Jack an attempt to get some speed going into through the hole to get to the second level, and he just couldn't make it happen.
Richardson alone in the gun. He's going to throw it over the middle, and that could have been picked off, but falls harmlessly to the turf as Chad Nevels could not secure the interception, but forces a fourth down.
Boy, right in his mitts, too. I'm sure he'd like to have that one back. Nevels had an opportunity to be heading the other way with an interception on that one from Sully Richardson.
That one's certainly a head-scratcher there. Nevels didn't get a whole lot of time out there on the football field, one of the extra safeties. Week 6 signing for this Gladiator defense. So Carolina forced to punt here. Michael Horrell, the punter, boots it down the field, fielded by Chase Earl, and he will get maybe a yard and a half, if that, out to the 27-yard line. St. Louis takes over for their second possession of the second half. We're going to take a short break and be right back. You're watching Simulation Football League in action live on 11 Sports for the fans and 252 ESPN New Bern, Greenville. Back here, a 14-13 ball game. St. Louis on top by 1. Download the Score Stream app and follow your favorite team for live scoring updates. When you aren't able to catch a game live, you can follow just your team or the entire league, the first eSport league on that app. And a deep bomb from Pickler to Cody Scott, wide open as he is dragged down at the 25-yard line. Big chunk play for the Gladiators to start things off.
I absolutely believed in my heart as that ball sailed through the air that he was going to be in the end zone for a touchdown. Cody Scott just slightly winded after he makes the catch, taken down on that play by free safety Rochelle Colston, able to catch up with him and bring him down and save a obvious touchdown. But wow, a heck of a throw by Johnny Pickler and catch by Cody Scott to give them excellent field position down at Carolina's 25-yard line.
Instantly flips the field as they are deep in Carolina territory. I formation. for the Gladiators. Swing pass over to Diesel Dawson. He's got 2 defenders out there, and they'll drop him at the 22-yard line.
Wow! Still reeling from the big play. That was nice. That was a really nice throw by Pickler and catch by Cody Scott. But that's exactly what St. Louis needed to happen. They needed that kind of momentum shifting, field flipping play, and they got it.
Almost 50 yards, 47-yard pitch and catch from Pickler to Scott. And 2nd and 7 now for Diesel Dawson as he moves those chains out to the 14-yard line into the SFL red zone. St. Louis with a lot of momentum off of that first huge play.
Absolutely. Diesel Dawson wanting a piece right there, too, getting up the middle and breaking a tackle before he gets taken down for a first down nearly to the 10-yard line, I believe out at the 14-yard line.
5.5 minutes to go here in the third. Alongside my best friend, Kate Stevens. My name is Eric Vincent, your play-by-play commentator. And we've got Stephen Hacker down there in the stats truck giving us all those saucy statistics here today as Logan Jack gets a handoff, and he's going to plow ahead for 10 yards and more out to the 3-yard line. And an impressive run by Diesel Dawson, and he's just followed what the defense was giving him.
Yeah, Diesel Dawson, wow, just threading the needle as you watch the footwork here, finding the lane, getting upfield. Prasad missed the tackle just a little bit. It looks like he put the fancy footwork on him, Diesel Dawson did, to get upfield and give St. Louis 1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
It looked like Prasad thought he was going one way, and then Dawson was like, nope, I'm going to go the other way, and just shook him out of his shoes.
He sure did.
1st and goal from the 3, swing pass to Dawson, 1 man to beat, end zone, touchdown St. Louis.
Wow, nice play there. Nice swing out by Johnny Pickler to Diesel Dawson for the touchdown. Exactly what St. Louis needed to get back in this football game and regain a little bit of that momentum moving forward.
Yeah, that chunk play was just what the doctor ordered for St. Louis as they were floundering a little bit on offense. A 5-play, 72-yard drive capped off with that 3-yard touchdown pass from Pickler to Dawson.
And sometimes that's all you need in a situation like that to flip things really quickly. You get the defense on their heels a little bit, and all of a sudden they don't know what to do.
This will make this an 8-point game. And Judah Dorgan adds the extra point, makes it an 8-point deficit for the Skyhawks. They will get the football on the other side of the break. Stay with us. You're watching Simulation Football League action live on 11 Sports and for the fans, listening live on 252 ESPN New Bern, Greenville. Back live in Raleigh, North Carolina, as St. Louis adds to their lead, makes it an 8-point ball game, 21-13. Your score in favor of the Gladiators fighting for their playoff lives here in the Simulation Football League. Good kick by Dorgan, fielded at about the 10-yard line by Prasad as he gets gang tackled by the special teams unit at the 28-yard line, and that's where Sully Richardson and company will take over.
And this is going to be a telltale drive, I believe, on how this could possibly go for Carolina. Let's see if the offensive game plan moving into this end of this here third quarter can get Sully Richardson once again comfortable out there. Logan Jack has been running the ball actually quite nicely today, so get him involved a little.
Not on this play, though. Empty set for Richardson. Steps up in the pocket, pressure coming to his back. He's going to air it out deep and intercepted. Going the other way is St. Louis for the 3rd time today, and that is going to be stopped at the 40-yard line. Good starting field position for St. Louis on the interception.
Yeah, great. I'm not sure if they just felt the pressure potentially to try to get back in the same realm as St. Louis and Sully Richardson attempting to force the football downfield. Number 44, strong safety Colin Douglas, appearing to be the intended receiver on the play, comes up with a big interception, and all of a sudden St. Louis is back in firm control.
And that is all you can ask for from your safety as well. Just play center field and grab those footballs that are just a little bit too far overthrown. And that, I think he hit the nail on the head there, Cade. I think he just overthrew it a little bit, trying to get rid of the football.
And Colin Douglas, multifaceted, strong safety there, can play inside the box, making big tackles, can also play, as you said, there's center field, making big interceptions on the back end.
Yeah, 67 tackles, 2 for loss to go along with 7 passes defended, and that his 8th interception on the season. First down, Pickler throwing it into coverage, tipped up in the air, and what's that? Caught? No, is it complete? I was trying to find the football in the fracas there over the middle, and Cody Scott almost came up with the football.
Almost came up with it. Prasad has something to say about that, but wow, Pickler made an effort, it looked like, to try to give the ball back to the other team on the tip drill. Carolina can't come up with it, neither can St. Louis.
Brings up second down from the 40-yard line of Carolina. St. Louis would love to add to their lead here. Pickler in the gun, 3 wide receivers towards the top of the screen, traveling left to right, over the middle, caught. And that is going to be about a 5-yard gain as Chase Earl makes the reception.
Yeah, nice catch by Chase Earl. At least it gives him a little bit more of a manageable third down in distance here for St. Louis. Chase Earl, one of those guys, if you can get him over the middle in a very similar crossing route, get him out in open space, boy, he can sure be dangerous, and he shows that in the return game.
Pickler going to be under center on this third down. 4 wide receivers to work with. Pickler to throw. Good pocket. Throws it towards the far sideline and incomplete. He had his man, just could not quite reel it in on the play. And that was Cameron Shaw, the Week 7 signing.
Cameron Shaw, wow, he's probably going to beat himself up for that one. Doesn't get a ton of opportunities to get on and see the field. Has one here to make a big play on third down and can't come up with it.
So a good stand by the Skyhawk defense forces a St. Louis punt. Zaborowski will try and pin them deep. No pressure coming. Ball is going to fall. No, it's fielded right at the 3-yard line. They'll mark it at the 4, but a good play there by the special teams unit. That's Sheldon Morant just grabbing the football right out of the air.
Yeah, great play by them. Great punt on that particular play to pin him deep. And Carolina's got a doozy of a look here to try to dig themselves out of. Ball at their own 4-yard line. Long way to go here.
Basic math telling me that's going to be 96 yards to pay dirt, and that is a daunting task for anyone.
Yes, indeed.
Logan Jack, the lone back for Richardson under center. Jack will get the handoff straight up the middle of the field. Good hole for him as he gets a gain of 6.
Well, that's exactly what you want, though, in a situation like that, is to be able to turn around and hand the ball to your running back and have him get you a little bit of breathing room out to the 11-yard line before he was taken down by the free safety Nathan Blake on that play.
18 carries, 61 yards for Jack today. Also a rushing touchdown to his credit. He's going to get a swing pass out of the backfield here. Somehow makes it back to the line of scrimmage. Good effort there for the running back as he was dead to rights in the backfield there.
Boy, he sure had to fight for it on that play before he was taken down. I believe that was the cornerback, Drew Reilly, who was able to finally kind of force him out of bounds. But, yeah, he sure had to fight to get back to the line of scrimmage. Absolutely incredible effort there.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 4. 4 down linemen for the Gladiators. Skyhawks going to come out with 3 wideouts and Jack offset. Richardson, short drop, hit as he's thrown, over the middle, caught, and that's going to be a first down out to the 20-yard line, and they will move those chains off the catch by Flash Furman.
That's the way you draw it up on 3rd and short like that. A nice little quick pass over the middle. It looked like the linebacker just happened to be out of place on that one, and they got Flash Furman for a nice catch and a first down.
2 minutes, 40 seconds and counting to go here in the 3rd. Richardson from the gun. Going to air it out far sideline. Wide open man. Caught for first down yardage as he trips himself out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Huge gain of 13.
Great catch by Shea Carroll on that play, and way to get the feet in bounds. That was quite the acrobatic effort to make it happen and help your team out. And so far, after starting this drive at their own 4-yard line, the Carolina Skyhawks are finding a way to move this ball down the field. Still at their own 33, but wow, considering the way this started, it could have been a lot worse.
Oh, 100%. Got to agree with you there, as they got a nice little drive here going. Certainly not out of the woods yet. Richardson in the gun. 3 wideouts towards the bottom of the screen. He'll look the opposite way, throw it towards his wideout, caught as he tiptoes out of bounds at the 39-yard line, gain of 6.
Yeah, another good catch by Shea Carroll, going back to him on the very next play. Gain of 6, as you said, second for their own 39-yard line. Putting together, as you said, Eric, a very nice drive here so far.
It's a nifty little drive. It's nothing to shake a stick at so far. The St. Louis defense has been tough today, though. We'll see if they can stand tall against the Skyhawks on this 2nd and 4. Hand off to Logan Jack as he gets stood up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 Gladiators in the vicinity there to bring him down, and no gain on the play.
Yeah, no gain on the play. It's going to be Mark Gronick once again coming up and making the tackle, but St. Louis had appeared sold out for the run on that play, almost as if they knew Logan Jack was getting the football, and it sure paid off.
Sets up a 3rd and short for Carolina. 4 down linemen for the Gladiators. Richardson under center. He'll take a short drop, fire it down to the far sideline, and that's caught. Actually, the near sideline, wide open catch made once again by Flash Furman as he will move the chains once again.
Flash Furman having to do the old 360 twist to make the catch there, but makes it nonetheless, and hauls the ball in for a 1st down there.
Looked like it was one of those diving board kind of acrobatic catches. Like, what the? Yeah, let me catch this. 4 wideouts for Carolina. Richardson, quick toss over the middle. Good gain of about 8 or 9, and that's Furman once again. He's been very popular on this drive.
Yeah, 3 catches, I do believe, on this drive so far, Eric. Very reliable target for Sully Richardson so far, coming up with the ball. 2nd, very short, really kind of opens up the playbook here.
Daddy Nasty saying, aloha SFL. Want to say aloha to him as well, along with everybody else watching on Twitch. Twitch.tv/FTF Next is where you can find all the fine people in the Simulation Football League chatting up this ball game. As Logan Jack gets a 1st down out to the 42-yard line.
Good run by Logan Jack, and all of a sudden they're creeping up on that St. Louis 40-yard line.
3rd quarter coming to a close. We will see one more football play. Turnaround handoff to Logan Jack, and he gets destroyed over the middle of the field. What a tackle by Chuck Diesel, burying him at the 40.
Yeah, big hit right there, Eric. Absolutely jars him a little bit, brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter.
Man, and that's getting me juiced up for the 4th quarter. Everybody get your 4s up in the chat. We've got one more quarter here. Will St. Louis get the victory? We'll have to see. Simulation Football League action continues live on 11 Sports for the Fans, 252 ESPN New Bern, Greenville. Back here for 4th quarter action live in Raleigh, North Carolina, as the St. Louis Gladiators are trying to put a stop to this pretty successful drive from Carolina, starting things off at their own 4-yard line down at the 40 of St. Louis currently, and driving. 5 wideouts for Richardson to work with in the gun. He'll take the snap. He's going to pump fake, fires it over the middle of the field, and that's intercepted again. St. Louis with another interception off of Sully Richardson and going the other way, and that puts an end to a very promising drive there.
Absolutely nightmare ending to what was a very well maneuvered drive so far. Starting at the own 4-yard line, quarterback Drew really gets involved, takes the ball away. St. Louis catches a break on that one on what looked like it was going to be an incredibly good drive there for Carolina. Sully Richardson has now thrown his 5th interception of the game.
As we get a look at Johnny Pickler coming up to the line there, 2nd best QBR in the league. He has been very good today as well. Did throw a pick earlier in the ball game, but has settled down as he swings it out to Diesel Dawson for a nice chunk of about 4 or 5.
Yeah, Pickler's been extraordinarily reliable, taking care of the football outside of the one interception, but he's making plays when they need to happen, and he's not doing too much. He's keeping his team ahead at this moment and taking what the defense gives him.
Second and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5 from the 31. Dawson, the lone setback. 3 wideouts for Pickler to work with. He's under center. He's going to hand it off to Dawson. Buries a defender trying to tackle him and escapes another as he gets close to midfield out to the St. Louis 47, where he will move those chains once again.
Dawson breaking tackles there. Tight end Cody Scott almost caught up with him to be able to throw the additional block, and if Scott catches up, throws the last block there, I think Diesel Dawson is in the end zone.
Yeah, absolutely. Going through that replay there, you see Cody Scott hustling down the field, trying to throw that last block, and eventually said, okay, all right, I'm out.
Mark Benicelli with the tackle at the end of the play there.
1st and 10 from the 47. Pickler, 5-step drop, going to throw it far sideline, wide open is Harrelson, escapes the first tackler, and he gets first down yardage and more out to the 34-yard line of Carolina.
Great catch and run. Once again, we spoke about Johnny Pickler, extraordinarily efficient so far on the day, finding receivers, and his receivers are helping him out. Great. Once again, catch and break of the tackle by Harrelson to try to get up the sideline.
Just under 10 minutes to go here in the final quarters. We get a look at Harrelson going out to his wide receiver spot. He will be in the slot along with 2 other wide receivers towards the top of the screen on this first down. Pickler to throw. Has time. Going to throw it towards the far sideline, and that is incomplete. Couldn't quite pull off the toe drag swag along the sideline, as that was Chase Earl with the incompletion.
Yeah, unfortunately, he couldn't get the ball over to him. He found Earl with a nice hole in the zone on the right there near the first down marker, and boy, just a little too far out of bounds.
Pickler striding up to the line, offset I formation this time. Handoff, Diesel Dawson trying to follow his blockers and will push his way ahead to the 29-yard line, and that's a short gain. Sets up a 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, 3rd and 6. I'm sure they take that all day long on the Carolina 29, and this kind of opens up a little bit of an opportunity to, I don't know, see what you do. You get a first down. If you don't, I have to imagine they're going to try for the kick, but if they're going to have to try for the kick, I'm sure a couple extra yards wouldn't hurt.
Never does, especially when it comes to field goal kickers. As Dawson gets a handoff, and he's going to get met right at the line of scrimmage. That is not going to do the trick, as Carolina was ready for him, and that's going to be a 4th down.
Yeah, good tackle right at the line of scrimmage by defensive tackle Christopher Colon there, slowing him up. 4th and 4. Let's see what they do here. It appears they are going to go for the field goal here.
And that is going to be Judah Dorgan attempting the field goal kick, his first attempt on the day. This one, no gimme from about 44 yards. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up and on the way, and it is through from 44 yards. So St. Louis extends their lead to 11 points as they have the lead 24-13. And we're going to take a short break here as the Simulation Football League rolls on the other side. You're watching live on 11 Sports and for the fans, listening to 252 ESPN, New Bern, Greenville. Back here live in Raleigh, St. Louis, taking advantage of the 5th Sully Richardson interception on the day with a 7-play, 44-yard drive, resulting in a field goal. 24-13 your score, as Prasad is going to have one of the better returns of the day, bringing the football up to the 37-yard line. That's where Carolina will take over. And, Kay, they're going to have to stop on the gas here pretty soon.
Yeah, they're going to have to get it figured out. Can't afford to turn the football over again. Unfortunately, and we spoke about it at the beginning of the game that we thought whoever was going to win this one was going to be whoever took the ball away more, and 5 turnovers by your quarterback is not helping the Carolina Skyhawks.
Certainly not. We'll see what Richardson can do here on this drive as he swings it out to Logan Jack. Nice and easy run there for him as he makes it out to the 41-yard line as he's ushered out of bounds there.
Yeah, I mean, Carolina right now, best case scenario, I think would like to have one of those field flipping plays that St. Louis had the pleasure of taking advantage of earlier. I think that would really turn things around for them.
I certainly agree with you there, and but I'm not sure if Richardson really has it in his bag today, as every time he's gone deep down the field, he's pretty much gotten picked off. 2nd and 6, handoff to Logan Jack. St. Louis ready for it right there at the line of scrimmage, going nowhere as he's tackled for a loss of about a half a yard. Going to be 3rd and 7.
Jack with a couple of good runs today. Unfortunately, there's for every good one, there's been about 3 or 4 that haven't produced much of anything. Coming into this game, averaging 3 yards a carry, as you saw pop up on the screen just now, keeping constant with that at 2.9 on the day.
3rd down for Richardson. He's in trouble right away. Somehow avoids the sack. Has time. Going to throw it over the middle. Wide open. What a play by Sully Richardson as he gets his receiver down on the 36-yard line. What a play by Carolina. And that is Sam Avalos with the play.
Sam Avalos with a absolutely tremendous play downfield. Coming in, runs wide open behind the zone, and the defense makes a catch, bails his quarterback out after his quarterback spins away from trouble on the play. Exactly what Carolina needed right there. We talked about a field flipping play, and this is about as close as it's gotten for Carolina on the day when it comes to that.
His first catch, and that was a big play there for Carolina as they set up shop at the St. Louis 36-yard line. 1st down, Logan Jack with the carry, and he will plow ahead to the 33-yard line. 2nd and 8. Be sure to check out the Sam Avalos Show on 252 ESPN New Bern, Greenville, by the way. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 for Carolina. Handoff. Jack again, trying to follow his blocks. Gets tackled in the middle of the field, and he gets a good chunk, 3 or 4 yards there before he's tackled by Nevels.
Yeah, it gives them a manageable 3rd down at least here, so they've got options on what they can try to accomplish. I don't know about you, Eric, but I think this is just about 4 down territory for Carolina as they trail by 11 with just under 6 minutes to play.
Yep, you're certainly not wrong there, sir. 3 wideouts for Richardson to work with, 2 towards the bottom of the screen. Takes the snap from under center. He's in trouble. Tries to spin out of the sack. Not going to get away this time as he gets buried in the backfield on 3rd down. That brings up a 4th down, and Dubstat gets in there for his first sack of the ballgame.
Disaster strikes once again for Sully Richardson and the Carolina Skyhawks. Offense, exactly what you did not want to happen on 3rd down, but a nice play by Dubstat, staying constant and coming through to make the sack.
And this would be a toughie for even Wally Herman, and it looks like they're not even going to chance it as they're going to send Michael Horrell out there for the punt. No pressure coming, so he will get a chance to pin the Gladiators deep here. Football drops at the 4-yard line. Carolina cannot get to it before it bounces into the end zone. That is going to be a touchback. And we are going to take a short break here from Raleigh. On the other side, we will see St. Louis take over once again. Simulation Football League rolls on here on 11 Sports for the fans and 252 ESPN New Bern, Greenville. Back live as we get a look at Nick Finch going out to his wide receiver spot. He'll be towards the bottom of the screen on this play as Pickler has split backs in the gun with him. 1st and 10, Pickler. Pressure's coming, tries to avoid it and does not. He's going to go down back at the 12-yard line. Huge 8-yard sack by Carolina.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal play up front there by defensive tackle Phil Hall, getting in there. His defensive tackle brethren Christopher Cologne with a sack on the day. Phil Hall gets his first one as that Carolina defensive line is doing the best that they can to try to get the ball back for their offense.
And they got to do it quickly here as time is running short for the Skyhawks. Pickler in trouble again. He goes down again. What a showing from the Carolina defensive front here on this drive as Pickler goes down for the second sack in as many plays.
2 plays in a row. Phil Hall in the backfield has got something to say about what's going on, and Pickler has absolutely no opportunity to get rid of the ball. Best thing St. Louis can do here is try to take care of it. Don't take another sack, and just trust your defense.
3rd and an eternity here for the Gladiators from their own 6. Dawson is going to get the handoff. He's trying to get as much yardage as he possibly can as he carries it out to the 12-yard line. Wasn't going to get the first down at all. As we get a look at Forrest Stark, and man, oh man, has he been an impressive rookie here. Came into the game today with 99 tackles. He's certainly over the century mark now.
Yeah, 16 tackles for a loss in 11 games is an absolutely fantastic stat, especially for a rookie linebacker. Forrest Stark is definitely going to be a star to watch in this league and a bright spot on this Carolina team.
He is the Iron Man, if you ask me. 4th and 18 for the Gladiators. Zabrowski is going to punt the football away. No pressure coming, and Harish Prasad calls for a fair catch right at the 40-yard line, and that's where that's where Carolina will take over. So we get a look at the last home game for Carolina. These two teams played. Carolina leads the series 4-2, and Cody Scott had himself a heck of a day.
Yeah, he sure did. 4 catches, 129 yards, and a touchdown. It was a big one for St. Louis on that day. Unfortunately, he was about the only thing that came out of that for St. Louis on that day as Carolina rolled to the victory the last time these two teams came together.
All the way back in August of 2018 as Richardson quickly throws it over the middle. He had a man wide open to start things off and took full advantage of it as he gets first down yardage out to the 28-yard line. They're going to go no huddle. Richardson from the gun again takes the snap. He's going to fire it deep, and it's picked up for his 6th time. St. Louis has just had Richardson's number today, and no one is going to catch the Gladiators. They've got a convoy down the sideline. The second pick 6 of the day. Touchdown, Gladiators.
Evan Arthur, 3rd interception, 2nd pick 6 of the day. Somebody get this guy a T-bone steak. Wow, what a play on that one. Unfortunately, Sully Richardson trying to make something happen, and Evan Arthur having absolutely none of it, back the other way for another touchdown, which will ultimately most likely seal the deal for the St. Louis Gladiators, keeping their playoff hopes alive here, Eric.
Wow, wow, wow. A 90-yard pick 6 to the house for Evan Arthur, and just an impressive showing. He got the first pick 6 and that first drive there from Carolina, and pretty much sealing the deal here for St. Louis as they keep their playoff hopes alive here today.
Absolutely incredible play. St. Louis's defense coming up huge once again in this game.
And we're going to get the extra point here to make it an 18-point ball game as that is up and through. Getting word from the commissioner that that's 2 pick 6s in the same game, and he's not sure if that's happened. He knows all these games, folks, and he is not sure if that's ever happened. That's wild in 14 seasons.
Consider yourselves lucky. We are watching history. That is phenomenal effort by Evan Arthur in this football game to have 2 of them coming back to the house.
31-13. Your score now as the Gladiators will boot the football down the field. Prasad fields it at his own 10, and he has been shut down today with the exception of a good punt return. He just has not had any sort of flashy returns today, kid.
Nah, both special teams defensively have done a really good job bottling Chase Earl and Harish Prasad up. 2 very dangerous returners, 3 touchdowns on the year for each of them in the return game, as we saw earlier. And both not too much of a big difference in this game today.
Richardson under center. He's got Jack in the backfield. Richardson to throw. He's going to check it down over towards the far sideline. That is caught. Minimal gain. Actually going to be about a gain of 5. Sets up second down as they go no huddle. Richardson again going to throw. Throws it over the middle into coverage and could have been picked off again as it was tipped up in the air and plenty of white jerseys around him.
Wow, yeah, another opportunity to take one away, and Sully Richardson gets away with one. But, yeah, this is not been a good game for him, unfortunately. Going into the season, I'm sure Carolina would like to try to work some things out, get this sorted. You know, there's a lot of turnovers in the pass game this year.
Trips towards the bottom of the screen as Richardson will throw. Pressure's coming, and Shane Masters has his number. Man, did he lay the lumber on him. Sacked back at the 27.
Shane Masters once again getting in there. I believe that is his second sack of the day for St. Louis.
We get a look at the replay there. Masters just made mincemeat of his block, and Richardson had no chance there.
Absolutely none.
Get a look at the takeaway leaders. Coming into this ball game, Carolina with the edge as far as the total takeaways that their defense has had. But shoot, with the amount of takeaways that St. Louis has had today, they're in the upper echelon now as Richardson will throw it down towards the bottom of the screen. Caught. They're going to go no huddle. And it's going to be the 2-minute warning, stopping them dead right at midfield. And on the other side of the break, we will see what Carolina can do to save face here, down 18. You're watching the Simulation Football League live on 11 Sports for the fans and listening on 252 ESPN New Bern, Greenville. Back live in Raleigh, North Carolina, as Richardson is under center here for 2 minutes to go. Richardson, short drop, going to air it out over the middle and tipped away, incomplete. Good play there by the secondary. Nathan Blake coming over there and batting the football away.
Yeah, Nathan Blake, heck of an effort and closing speed to get there and knock the ball away. Otherwise, it looked like Richardson, the Skyhawks, might have actually had their first real big one down the field for a potential touchdown. I think Blake was the last one who was going to have anything to say about that.
Second and 10 from midfield. Richardson takes the snap. He's going to swing it out over to Logan Jack. Has plenty of defenders out there ready to bring him down, and Carolina will have to burn their first timeout. Also getting word that Evan Arthur has had 3 pick sixes on the season, and we got to double check on what the record is, but that's insane to have 3 pick sixes in the same season.
2 in the same game on top of that.
2 in the same game. True. Absolutely. Also, don't forget, we've got more Simulation Football League action coming up at the top of the hour, so stay tuned for that as Richardson doing his best to throw another interception into coverage there, tipped away and incomplete.
Yeah, knocked away by the reserve linebacker, Tyrion Jones, on that play. It appears St. Louis may have put their second stringers in here.
And again, as I mentioned, top of the hour, Arizona, the Scorpions will travel to Buffalo to take on the Corsairs. 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. Rich Pratchard, Gerald Giudice, and Mark Lopez will all be on that one for you, so you don't want to miss that. Wild Week 12, final week of the regular season here in the Simulation Football League continues as we got a 4th down here for Richardson. Takes the snap, pressure's coming, he's going to go down, and that's going to pretty much do that as 4G comes in and gets the sack. And St. Louis will take over on downs.
Boy, St. Louis in the second half, Eric, just absolutely came back to life defensively and shut Carolina out. And when Carolina was making a bid to actually play spoiler in this game, kept the game real close, was within a point at one point, believe it or not, folks. And St. Louis right about the top of the fourth there, just completely took off.
Right, we were talking about it earlier in the ball game where St. Louis was struggling a little bit. Allowed Carolina to score 13 unanswered points as they burned their second timeout, one remaining with 142 to go. And St. Louis has now put up 17 unanswered of their own here.
Yeah, I think they what Carolina was doing. I think St. Louis got it figured out and found something that was going to work for them. Johnny Pickler with some great throws on the day, 2 touchdowns, just the 1 turnover. Has played a phenomenal game as well. Diesel Dawson, another good one on the day. Good job running the football. 17 carries, 78 yards, just over 4.5 on average.
Also, those 2 receiving touchdowns on those short yardage situations from the goal line. So good, definitely a good call there as they get a free play, the Gladiators do, on this last one, and they will accept it. So a free 5 yards for them. And coming into this ball game, St. Louis, they do need some help as far as their path to the playoffs. Charleston beating Tulsa was certainly a step in the right direction, and them beating Carolina as well being a step in the right direction. We will have to see where they land as they will lock up this victory here, move to 6-6 on the year, which, by the way, their best record in franchise history, as Carolina will burn their final timeout with 1:35 to go.
Yeah, I mean, they've put themselves in the position they need to do. They've done what they can do. They just need a little bit of help on the outside, and they've already gotten what they needed so far on the day. I think that these guys have a real good chance of getting in, and if St. Louis gets in, boy, these guys are going to be dangerous.
Oh, absolutely. Pickler, certainly no one to shake a stick at. We pointed it out earlier in the broadcast. Second best QBR in the league. So obviously he takes care of the football, does what he's needed to do, and his team is in prime position here to lock up one of those 2 remaining playoff spots.
Absolutely. There's a reason St. Louis took him. Round 1, pick 1, the number 1 overall pick in the SFL draft this year. He's shown them and rewarded their faith in him. And a trip to the playoffs is just the icing on the cake for this kid.
Yeah, Vegas win would hurt the Gladiators most. They host the Atlanta Swarm in the nightcap tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central, live on 11 Sports and for the fans. So certainly stay tuned to that. But they had a 50-50 shot to make the postseason coming into this ball game. So again, hats off to the Gladiators for putting their best foot forward. And hats off to Carolina. They certainly gave the Gladiators all they could handle here in that second and third quarter there.
Yeah, absolutely. Carolina really made a strong push to try to make St. Louis sweat a little bit. And St. Louis, an excellent job overcoming some adversity to get back and take control of this football game.
One final kneel down here for the Gladiators. And that is it. St. Louis celebrating their best record in franchise history, moving to 6-6 and keeping themselves alive in the Simulation Football League playoff hunt.
Absolutely exciting. Now they just got to hope for a little bit of extra, and they may have earned themselves a trip to the playoffs. This may not be the last time you've seen St. Louis so far this season, folks. We'll just have to wait and see how things shake out later this evening.
Get a look at the final game stats and highlights. And, Kate, I think the number that jumps out at you is that turnover.
Oh, yeah, clear cut. There's a reason that St. Louis won this football game, and Carolina, I mean, if you knock off 4 of those interceptions, I have to imagine it's a lot closer of a football game, but many opportunities they had deep in the red zone or in St. Louis territory did Carolina and turn the football over, and you just can't win football games turning it over as many times as they did today.
No, certainly not, and especially not interceptions like these where they were just clear overthrows, just putting the ball out there, not taking good care of the football, and honestly, just a shame. I know that Sully Richardson is a much better quarterback than that, and he'll have the whole offseason to kind of work on his craft and get to feeling things out, get to making better decisions. But hey, you know, it is what it is, and they certainly gave this a heck of a run for their money.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Richardson is going to, I see him coming back and I see him playing better than ever. He's going to have an opportunity to work on some things, and he's shown you in different situations for some of the bad things that he's done. He also shows you exactly why he's the quarterback of this football team. He can make plays. He can get outside the pocket. He's mobile. He made the play just as you've seen in the highlight right here where he's able to shake off a defender, get the ball downfield, and that's one of the biggest upsides they have with him. I think Carolina likes Sully Richardson, and I think he has an opportunity to come back and play better than ever. There's your potential player of the game right there, Evan Arthur. I just don't see how you give it to someone else.
Can't give it to anybody else. I was going to say the same thing. Read my mind, man. Get off my brainwaves. Evan Arthur, I don't know how you can give it to anyone else the way that he's played today. 2 pick sixes, none bigger than that last one there that pretty much sealed the deal for the Gladiators.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal job by him today back on the back end for the St. Louis defense. Play after play, and 3 interceptions, 2 back to the house.
There he is. 3 picks, 2 touchdowns, 4 tackles. Evan Arthur, your player of the game. On behalf of executive producer and commissioner Cameron Irvine, my best friend Kate Stevens, I'm losing my mind here with this game, and Stephen Hacker in there on the Stats Truck. Want to thank you for tuning in to this presentation of the Simulation Football League. My name is Eric Vincent, your play-by-play commentator. Stay tuned. We got much more to come here in Week 12. Coming up top of the hour, Arizona visiting Queen City. Stay tuned.